So within the past year, there's been a lot of talk about a possible recession. Some people even debate if we're already in one. But I'm a middle-aged man now, and I've lived through a couple recessions, and I've lived through a couple of boom periods. And what I can tell you is I survived them all. And if you're willing to work, there's always a need for workers. And so currently, as I make this video, the United States of America has the lowest unemployment in its history, meaning that there are jobs everywhere. It may not be the exact job you want at the exact time, but that's the key. The number one way to prevent a recession in your life is to work, even if it's not the ideal situation. One of the last recessions that I lived through that was a little rough for me was around 2006. I had got laid off, and I was in between career jobs. And so in between, I worked at a pizzeria during the day, and on the weekends, I would paint houses. I would do side work until I found another career job, which eventually I did a year or so later. You fill the gap. If you're willing to work, even in times of recession, you will not experience a recession. If you're willing to work, there is always a need for workers, whether it's cleaning houses, painting houses, landscaping. But, again, now as I make this video with the medical industry, nurses, with the trades, plumbers, electricians, these are all middle-class jobs. Delivery jobs, if you have a driver's license, that's a certification saying that you are able, not disabled, able to drive. If you're able to drive now, DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, Lyft, these may not be career jobs, but they fill the gap jobs. Fill the gap jobs until you get another career job. Work the night shift, do work during the day. I heard someone say, well, how many jobs can you work? Well, they work no jobs. Most people who complain about inflation work no job or work part-time. If you work seasonally, part-time, and you don't put effort into your career, you will always live hand to fist. You will always live in a recession. That's why I'm anti-staying in seasonal jobs, anti-part-time jobs, because all you're doing is starting to get traction and making money, and then you're stopping. Start, stop, start, stop. And that creates a recession. You have no consistency. Consistency creates champions. So that's the number one way. Work. Even when there's a recession, work. Do anything. Why? A body in motion stays in motion. Getting the bag, having a habit of structure in your life and productivity creates a network, creates habits, creates wealth, even if you never become a multimillionaire. Number two, the number two way to prevent a recession, in your life is to inventory the unnecessary. And everyone always tries to cut expenses to get to prosperity. But I'm putting number two as eliminate the unnecessary because you cannot avoid number one, do the work, create revenue, create income. And if you're on a fixed income, it's always going to be a struggle, because it's fixed, And so unless you're retired at that retired age, or if you're, seriously disabled, then, again, how many videos do you watch per day? Because that's wasting of time. That's unnecessary watching. So, look, eliminate the unnecessary. If you got 2 cars, you only need 1. If you got 2 houses, you only need 1. One of everything, especially in times of leanness. But remember to keep income coming in. Number 3, don't try to live off investments. Why? Most investments fail. Unless you have 7 years of proven tax returns showing that you make sustainable income in your investments, whatever your investments are, don't try to live off them. Why? You don't have a track record. You don't have history. Which you probably have. If you look at your tax records and history, you probably lose more money than you make in investments. Because if you're trying to live off them, without proven data, without 7 years of tax returns showing that you make consistent income off your investments in line to enable a lifestyle that you want to live. Unless you have that data, you're delusional. And you're going to hurt yourself mentally and financially. You're going to create your own recession trying to live off investments that have not proven in your life that they're sustainable. Sustainability is the bridge, okay, to fill the gaps of ups and downs in life. Because life has ups and downs no matter what, okay? But it has catastrophe almost guaranteed if you have no stability. You know, too much volatility, even for the most risk takers, is not good. Why? It's a bad quality of life. It's a bad track record of progress, and it's very toxic. Okay? Too much volatility is toxic. Okay? You need some stability. You need to take risks, but you need some stability. The final way to prevent a recession in your life, as best you can, nothing's perfect, but the final way, toxic habits. We talked about one with this, which is too much risky investments, too much gambling. But I'm talking about now drug habits, toxic relationships, broken marriages or broken relationships where you have to share an apartment with other people. I got a comment the other day that says, well, taking a promotion is too much stress. Well, if you don't take the promotion, sharing an apartment with other underemployed people or drug addicts is too much stress. If you think working is too much stress, wait till you've experienced poverty or lack of income. That's too much stress. That's too much anxiety. You're trading the anxiety of work for the anxiety of poverty. Not good. So the toxicity, sharing space, sharing your life, drug habits, gambling habits, toxic habits create recessions, even in boom times. So to summarize, keep a job, okay? Even if it's not your career job, for the time being, to fill a gap, to keep you in a motion of productivity, of income creating. Number 2 is eliminate the unnecessary. Again, if you have 2 houses, 1. 2 cars, downsize to 1. Okay. Just remember, though, you can't downsize to prosperity. You can only wisely trim the fat. Okay. Number 3, don't try to live off investments unless you have 7 years of proven tax returns showing that your investments create an income to sustain a lifestyle that you want to live. Number 3, toxic habits, drug habits, gambling habits, bad relationships, toxic relationships. You got to get out of them because they create chaos in your life. And it doesn't matter what your money situation is, your mental health, your physical health, your financial, that can be in a recession. I believe at looking at life practically, psychologically, emotionally, financially, every way, comprehensive way to look at life. There's nothing to do with the exterior, but just all around, in exterior, interior, everything. Full way to look at life. From my opinion, my perspective, you live life how you want to live it. My channel, my opinion, my perspective. Thank you for watching. I hope these videos help. If they do, please click the thumbs up. That's free. If you want to support the channel, click the super thanks or join the channel. You're not obligated. Leave a comment below. Share the video via text, via social media with your friends and family. Why? It helps to support the channel, and it's free. Okay? This is a free video. All YouTube videos are free. Don't be an entitled person in the comment section wanting the free videos to align with your perspective 100% of the time. Free speech does not mean that you can go on someone's individual channel or a private company like YouTube and say whatever you want, however you want. Okay? You have to understand what free speech is. Okay? It's not you're entitled to say whatever you want, whenever you want, without consequences. You can get blocked on YouTube. Yeah, I could block you. Why? Because that's the consequence of coming on someone else's channel saying whatever you want. If you go into a movie theater and you yell fire, or you yell, there's a consequence to that action. You got the freedom, but there's consequences. Freedom comes with responsibility. Never forget that. Thank you for watching.